People, check out these amazing promotions that we have this week on the Beeline Entertainment, LLC. And if you're interested in promoting on our shows, we want to see it. We know you have amazing content. Just hit us up, send us a message. We there. Check it out. People, the Beeline Entertainment, LLC is proudly sponsored by Round Guys Brewing Company. That's right, get amazing crafted beers shipped straight to you. Round Guys Brewing Company. Check them out today at the link below. People, check out my man Philly D on the I'm Telling You podcast. Head on over to YouTube and subscribe today. It's a great show. I'm telling you.
He said it.
People, check out this amazing energy drink mix called Dubby. Get more Dubby. That's right. All the energy you need to get through your gaming, your creativity, and everything else. Check it out. Use that promo code BrianB, NRG, and get 10% off your order today.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, Brian B proudly brings to you, what's good? What's going on? What's happening? What's good? What's happening? What's around? Yo, listen, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. As you can see, we got a screen on the screen right away. So you know we was already talking before we started the camera going. But it's the Beeline Web Show. Let's go. That's right. The show that started them all. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys liked all the sponsors you just saw. Make sure you check out Round Guys Brewery. Make sure you guys check out the Dubby, bro. Get more Dubby. Get more Dubby. Get more power. That's right. You want them energy drinks? You want to spend that $5 a can for that Red Bull shit? That don't give you wings anyway. It don't do nothing for you. It just makes you spend every dime in your pocket and you get energy for 2 hours, man. Go grab you some W. It's going to give you some energy throughout the day. Take it a little bit in the morning. Take a little bit at night if you got to get some boom, boom, pow action going on. You know what it is. Yo, listen, guys. We have a brand new show for you today. I'm very excited about my guest that I have on. He actually is really close with another guest we had on that you guys knew recently. But before we do all the sentimental stuff and getting to know new people and stuff like that, we got to do this. Let's go.
Straight to the point, baby.
It's going down in
3, 2, 1.
People, that's your boy!
Brian B.
Let's go.
Back on the Beeline. I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited.
Is the influence you have.
Again with strangers!
You gotta be a clean baby's ass.
Hold on real quick.
Knows the hands of fate.
People, it's your boy, Brian B. Welcome to the Beeline Web Show. Let's go.
Thank you, people. Listen, I love you guys so much. If you haven't already, make sure that you like, make sure that you share, make sure that you subscribe to the channel because we're doing big things, man. Today, we are speaking with one of the co-hosts of Navarro Miiler Report. Check it out. If you haven't checked it out, we got Mr. Dave Navarro. What's good, Dave? How you doing, man?
It's good, man. Thanks for having me over, Brian B. I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir. I'm very glad to have you on. You know, I've been a fan of your show. And you are, you do your show with one of our former guests. You guys know him very well, Mr. Jeremy Miller. Little Ben Seaver off of Growing Pains. He came on and, graced the show with his stories and different information. That's awesome, bro. But welcome to the show. How you doing, guy?
Good, man. Just that's a hell of an entrance, man. I almost felt that I was in the ring with The Rock right now. I'd be like, if you smell what The Rock type of thing, you know?
That's right. Yeah, man.
You smell
what The Rock is cooking.
you can come that way too.
Damn, we got the voice effects. Oh shit, making me sound very horrible.
Come on, B. You know, as a fellow podcaster or somebody that's in this industry, you know damn well that you got to have the little tips and tricks. You got to have little sword for everybody to enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. No, you absolutely right, man. But Dave, we are going to get to know you today. I'm very excited about it. We're going to get to know Dave actually has an amazing life. He's been around a lot of amazing people, and we're going to get to know that today. Guys, listen, sit back, strap up for this one. It's going to be a big one. Dave, let's start out with I always let everybody introduce themselves, like where you're from and you know what you're doing and stuff like that. So let's start with there, and then we'll kind of graze into the information.
Well, Los Angeles, California, man. This is where I'm from. This is where I live. This is where I be. No pun intended, be. So yeah, I mean, I've been through a lot of stuff. I was a former Hollywood club promoter for over 10 years, so I saw a lot of things. I don't want to talk about what I did, but I saw a lot of things. Some stuff that I don't really remember, but you know, I mean, who does when you're at that age?
Bro, listen.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember a bunch of stuff, but went to college, got my degree in journalism and mass communications with a minor in marketing. And it's actually funny. I didn't meet Jeremy. I met his fiance Joni first. That's how I met Jeremy, and it was through the club. She actually used to come to the clubs, and I met her, and she was really cool, and I was always treated like VIP. And for the longest time, she kept on saying that she was engaged to a big celebrity, and I was like, dude, a guy that works at a club that sees people like Chris Brown come in here, Derek Fisher, former Lakers. I mean, got so many people that come in through the club all the time. Busta Rhymes, you know, they come in here. It's like, whatever you're gonna say, it's not gonna faze me. Plus, I grew up in a town called Burbank, California.
Yeah.
And Burbank, pretty much entertainment capital of the world. You have Warner Brothers, the Warner Brothers
big names
is here.
Yeah.
Disney Studio. I mean, I went to high school where Ron Howard's alma mater was. His old high school, John Burroughs High School in Burbank. That was where Ron Howard went to high school back in the 60s or 50s or wherever long ago it was. So yeah, man, and a lot of actors went to that high school too that I met throughout my time there. So pretty much I was like, anybody you say that you know that you're engaged to is not gonna faze me. Trust me. For the longest time, she didn't tell me. Finally, she did, and when she did, I was like, "Oh, cool, that show," you know. So it didn't faze me because, you know, to be honest with you, I look at it this way: every actor is a human being that just got luckier than most. That's about it.
Yeah,
you know, but we're all human beings. We all have 2 arms, 2 legs, eyes, hair. You know, we're all the same.
Yeah.
We got blood in our veins. We when we cut, it hurts. I mean, we're all the same people. It doesn't matter who you are, but just some got more. Some got luckier than others.
That's important. That's important to know. I mean, it really means a lot coming from you as well, because like you were just saying, I had somebody on the show, one of our first entertainment shows we did, and he's from here in Atlanta, and he was saying how he had went to school with, like, you know, Criss Cross and, you know, these guys who were really big in the beginning of their day and stuff like that. It was interesting to me, like, you know, you're around that many people that, you know, became this established, you know, names, and you know them, and, you know, popularity, fame, you know. Was it difficult to kind of, like, you know, see these people and have these relationships with these people and kind of, you know, see their caliber and then kind of be like, oh, I'm aiming for that now since all these people are around me? Like, is it kind of sought after since so many people come from that environment, that fame?
You know, it's because I wanted to be in the entertainment industry ever since I was about, I'd say ever since I was like in the in the 6th grade, 5th or 6th grade. I've always wanted to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
And this is before I moved to Burbank, because the thing is that, like, my parents, we first lived in Koreatown in Los Angeles, in a really rough neighborhood of Koreatown where 13th Street was down the street from where we lived, and it was always like a helicopter, like it was everyday ordeal, or every night ordeal where we lived at. I mean, I remember Chris Rock. I don't know if it was on a TV, in a movie, or in one of his TV sketches. I forgot what it was, that he said that he didn't learn how to until he was like 13, because we kept on crawling around all over the place because of the crossfires from the drive-bys. Similar to that. I mean, it was rough neighborhood where we lived.
Yeah.
And then shortly after, my parents moved to Bakersfield, which is the armpit of California. Hated that place. Lived there for some of my adolescence. Then we moved. That's when we moved to Burbank, and that was like my 10th grade year. So I grew up here. But in essence, what you're asking, no, it had nothing to do with my environment. It had the person. Personally, for me, I just loved entertaining. I've always loved to entertain. When my mom, she gave me when I was in the 5th grade, I started walking around like Columbo. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah.
The old detective series. I used to be like, excuse me, can I have a moment of your time for about 2 seconds?
Oh shit.
And I always do those voices, and I just love to entertain. That was always my thing. I always just love to do it. So I mean, bonded by all these actors, it was just, I guess you might say, it just enhanced my motivation, but it wasn't the reason for my motivation.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And whenever I hear about stuff like that, especially people coming from like, LA and stuff like that, because these are the places where you go to establish like, the entertainment world, whether it be to act, whether it be to model, that's like the heart of it. And, coming from Burbank and knowing these celebrities all come from these high schools and all these different platforms. And then, these people, it's like, to me, it feels like you're just like, already in the caliber of like, hey, this is what I got to do because this is what surrounds me. I'm not gonna work at a gas station. I'm gonna work like I'll be in a movie, playing a person, somebody who works at the gas station. Like that'll be my life. So it's always interesting to me because I feel like you guys are already kind of set up for like the success is like constantly around you. But I don't know. I'm gonna all those sides of the country. Gotcha. Yeah.
This can be deceiving, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the individual. It has nothing to do with the environment. It's the individual or not, what choices they're going to make. We're all faced with crossroads in our lives, and we have no idea road that's going to take us. All we know is that we got to take one. We can't just sit stagnant forever. So yeah, it just depends on the individual.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. So when you first started, you said you were doing the promotion in the clubs and stuff like that. So what got you into that? Where did you start off trying to like do acting and stuff like that?
Well, that's the thing is that I mean, acting for me, I had an epiphany a long time ago that most of the time you're going to become an actor. It's all about who you know, not what you know. And I see like there's a lot. I came to a point in my life where I was like, you know what? I'm tired of trying. I'm going to start creating my own stuff. So that's why I started writing. And the thing is, I've always been a pretty decent writer. I've written 24 scripts for 7 different projects. Okay. I have been, there's always been people that have been interested in the stuff that I have because I put a lot of emotion into the stuff that I write. And that is the exact same, which I call it, like that's the same reaction that I get from the audience that I'm speaking to, that my writing is going through. I want them to go ahead and be like, hey, if I can impact one person, then I did my job. That's exactly the response. It's always key to get an emotional response out of your audience, because when you do that, that's when you know something. That's when you know you hit a chord with somebody. So yeah, I decided to step away from the whole acting thing. And my mom, actually, may God rest her soul, she is the one that basically told me, she said, son, look, I know how much you like acting. She hated it. She hated the industry because she heard horror stories about little kids being abused. In the industry.
Really?
She wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. Yeah. So I thank her for that. But I was still like, come on, mom, come on. You
want to do it. Yeah.
And then
man.
Well, here's the thing, right? Is that when I got older, it was no longer about me being abused. It was now about being a drug addict, being like getting into cocaine because of that industry. So it was it was always it was a thing that she didn't like, and I was like, come on, did you kill him here? So finally, when I was younger, she said, why don't you do this? Why don't you like being in front of the camera, right? I was like, yeah. It's like, I have a college degree, so let's compromise. Become a journalist. That way you're in front of the camera and you're still getting and I get what I want too. I get a degree from you.
There you go.
So, I mean, it took a few years, but I finally got my degree. I graduated with honors, magna cum laude. Beautiful. And I was able to give her that degree before she passed away. Beautiful. So I was, thank you. It was one of the hardest that ever happened. in my life is losing my mom. I mean, anybody who has a mother, I was actually just talking to my friend Carl about this today, that you can't dwell on the inevitable. Just live in the now and just, cherish what you have presently. Because if you keep about the inevitable, full time thinking about the inevitable when you could be using that to spend with your loved one and stay and be there.
That's beautiful information too. I mean, my co-host on my lives, like JD the Mouth, we're brothers. Like, we're brothers, but we're brothers with different parents. You know what I'm saying? The simplest way you could say it. But he experienced a lot of his family, his mom, his dad, his brothers, sister, man, damn, a lot of his family. And that's kind of what I've been trying to preach to him. And it's hard because I still have my parents, still have my family for the most part. But it's just, I live with that mentality. I live with, I'm not constantly dreading. I know things are coming. Like, I say it to myself all the time. Like, I know that I'm going to have this day too. Like, my day just hasn't come yet. It's going to come, hopefully if I'm lucky, I can, be here and not them, be there and I'm not here. But, it sucks, man. It is one of those crazy things, but it is really awesome that, she was there and established your connection with your future and wanted you to do good. One big thing about when Jeremy came on my show, man, I had the preconception, and I still do a little bit, but of the child actor and actresses and actors and the roles that they play and the things that they go through and the things that they're shoved into by overbearing parents, by creepy assholes, drugs, alcohol, and the different things that they kind of take part in at such a young age. They have so much responsibility. Jeremy kind of flipped it. He was the first person that really kind of flipped my kind of idea on what a child actor's life kind of looks like. And it was interesting, man. And I really respected him for it. We kind of had a really good conversation just because I was kind of like, I really wanted to dive into like, you were a child actor in the 80s. You hear about these kids growing up, Britney Spears, everybody wilding out and shit. you want to, is something wrong? Like what the fuck is happening? Why do they all flip out? Yeah. But then he was making the sense of it like, yes, because, you live such a different life that you kind of lose those social skills and stuff. It's very interesting, man, because you would think that it's all, rainbows and sunshines, but
not even close. I mean, Jeremy, some of the stories he would tell me are crazy. Some of the stuff that I'm never going to repeat, but he's got a lot of stories. Like, wow, that's crazy, but I mean, he's lived a very interesting life. Both while he was an actor and then afterward, the stuff that he had to go through, his recovery, alcoholism, all that stuff. I mean, he's been through the ringer, and I'll be honest. I mean, he's a great guy. I like to bash each other on the show, but that's our style because we're like brothers, like you and your co-host, him and me. We're
talk shit all day.
Yeah, we're picking on each other and everything, and that's our dynamic. And but I love him. He's a great guy. He was actually there when my mom the day before my mom passed. He was there. Him awesome. And Joni were there at the in the ICU, and they were there for my love my mom. And he was there. He was just there. He was just a great friend. And I always say, I'm like, my mom probably would have never thought in her entire life that her final days, she would be not only graced by the presence of family and friends, but as well. So that's something that I don't think she ever thought would happen. So, I mean, that's a little bit of a bonus, but I mean, above it all, Jeremy's just a great friend. He's just a good person. I love him. I love him as well. I thank Joni for introducing me to not just Jeremy, but to the entire Miiler family. They're all fantastic. I love all of them. I love Jeremy's mom. She's amazing, amazing woman. His stepdad as well. Like I love them all. They're all great. And the day of my mom's memorial, that same evening, Jeremy was like, so I know you're going through it, but it's up to you. I'm going to this party that my friend's throwing. Do you want to like maybe go and get your mind off these things, get your mind off? And I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go. Let me just get my off of a lot of things. And he took me out and got my mind off of things for a little bit. You know, I've had a lot. I had a really rough couple of weeks with everything that happened, and
Yeah,
it was good to get out of there. And that's the kind of person Jeremy is. You know, he does
that's
the best he
awesome.
can to try to get his friends out.
Yeah, and that's what I'm that guy. That's me. Like I know we spoke about this privately or whatever, but that's it sucks because it can be, you know, seen as a different way, as like kind of like, oh, but you need to let this happen or whatever. Like there's a rule book that you got to follow and shit. I'm that kind of guy, man. I don't do well with the crying on your shoulder. I don't do well with the rubbing your back. I'm more of that like, yo, listen, I know you down. Let's go get a drink. Let's go sit on this bench and just like, you know, talk about shit we used to do. Talk about when we used to throw rocks at cars and shit like that. That's me, bro. Like I always try to like, you know, bring you out of the mind state. Crack a joke, laugh, you know, pick your nose, anything stupid. Like it's just some people have that caliber. I'm not good at funerals. I'm not good at like, you know, so I can still be like, yeah, I'm really sorry. Like, you know, I understand like you're going through something or whatever, but I'm not the kind of person who will like help you dwell on it. So I really connected with Jeremy right there when you said that, because I'm that same exact kind of person, man. Sometimes it's needed. It's more needed than somebody just to rub you on your back and shit like that. You probably felt, you know, I mean, it's hard to feel good, but I mean, you probably felt like, man, this is actually, at least I'm, you know, kind of in a different environment. It's not like the usual, you know, I don't know. With breakups, that was a big thing with me too. Like,
I don't know about breakups. I haven't been in a serious relationship in not months but years.
oh
I mean,
shit,
I
talk
date.
about it.
Don't get me
Talk
wrong.
about it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I date. I date. I go out and whatever. But to be actually in a relationship, that's always
Yeah.
been an Achilles heel for me. I mean, I'm very. I have a specific type that I wear. And it's funny because I always go for them, they never go for me. And I think
Got
that's
you.
my
Okay.
problem.
The standards is
So,
high.
but
Oh, Dave.
I can't help it. I mean, here's the thing. Coming from a world of club promoting, you see every
That's what I was
single
thinking.
beautiful woman come in and out. It's tough for
Yeah.
you to just like it's tough for you to like settle down and be with one person, and it's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, I've never cheated on any person I've been with. That's the reason why I date, you know, and I date exclusively, because it's
Yeah.
just, I mean, I'm honest about it. You know, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm dating you, but you know, I have another date tomorrow. Just want to be honest with you. Just like, you know, I mean, it's not like I'm a man whore or anything. Like,
Paint the picture right now.
well, dude, I don't want my willy to fall off either. So I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
I gotta be careful with that too, you know. So,
Yeah. Yo, it's important. Well, yo, listen, we've been having conversations like that lately, especially on our live show. We talk hella shit on our live show, bro. We talk about everything. But it's crazy because it's like, you know, some people like to act like they don't know what an established relationship is. They don't act like oh, what is that? What does this mean? This is what it means, okay? For fucking uninformed. An established relationship is a man and a woman get together and they say, hey, do you like me? I like you. Let's get together. That means nobody else is in our fucking situation. We're a couple. Bam. You understand? But people now like to act like, oh, well, I can do this, but then if he doesn't scratch my ear the way that I like him to, I can go find somebody to scratch my ear the way that I like, because he can't do it. That's the fucking stupidest kind of understanding that I have in the world. But like you're saying, if you just understand that you don't really want to partake in, this is a serious committed relationship, I'm just not really that interested in this, or it's not working for me in that area, so I date around. I let you know that I'm dating around, and that's my situation. You can be a part of it if you choose. There's no argument there. At least it shouldn't be, you know. And people just have a weird way of looking at shit lately.
I mean, it's one of those things where a long time ago I used to have levels of male and female coexistence. I used to call it, actually. And the first level is casual. It's a casual arrangement where you're both getting to know each other. It's the beginning stages of trying to. But it's casual, so you're still seeing other people.
Yeah.
The second stage is dating. That's when you're starting to date the person, you know, and there's a little bit of interest there.
Yeah.
You know, however, it's still not in the relationship stage yet, but it's getting there. It's actually halfway point to the next step, which is a relationship. Now,
Okay.
relationship, That's when you cut tie with every single person you've been dating, and you're only focused on one single person, and that's it. You're they're not going anywhere else. Now, if you feel the need to go back a couple of steps, then be fair to yourself, be fair to the person that you're with, and go back a couple of steps. Don't cheat on them. Just go back a couple of steps and be like, you know what? I mean, I thought I was ready. You're a great person, but I'm committed to you because I want to be fair to you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be unfair to you, because chances are you might find somebody that's, and because you're focused on me, you're missing out on that other person. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to have that on my conscience. That's the way I've always looked at these arrangements.
That's a great, honest way to be too. That's a great, honest way. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, man, you know, being honest in these situations are always going to be the best. You actually kind of said something that kind of surprised me a little bit, as far as just, I just think a little differently as far as when I'm dating somebody, or like you said, the stages I agree with. But for me, if you're talking to somebody, now you don't know if it's serious. Now, how many people are you talking to? You talking to 4 or 5? Like, you want your fucking, you got your variety, you know, established to select from or whatever.
Limits. I mean, come on.
You got your fucking panels and your doors.
I mean, come on. It's 31 flavors, bro. This ain't Baskin Robbins where you're gonna be like going to 31.
But it's like, when you start talking to somebody, especially like, you know, you say you have like a good date and you got a girl and she's like, okay, cool, you had a good ass date with her, and then you fucking, you know, y'all went out and you're like, okay, she was cool as shit, I'm gonna call her tomorrow. And you call her and shit like that or whatever. Like, yeah, you want to go out again? Okay, you got another date. All right, cool. At what point do you expecting, like, wait a minute, we just had a second date, and you telling me you was talking to Tony too? Like, you still talking to, you entertaining this motherfucker? Like, when we over here having good dates? Like, for me, I feel like if we had a good date and you feel like or if I feel like there's an established like thing, I'm like, wait a minute, okay, I kind of like her. Let me see if I can. I'm probably gonna cut off the other ones. Now I might fuck up and just like, hey, listen, but that's just how I feel, because it's hard to give yourself into a situation when you feel like you have options, man. Like,
Brian,
for me,
let me just say this.
Okay,
you're looking at it from one point of view, from your, okay.
Yeah.
You got to also look at it not just from the other person's point of view, but you also have to look at it from within yourself. Flip the roles for a second. Flip it. Now you put yourself in that other person's shoes. What if she's a great date? She thought you are great, but then the other person that you're also talking to, they're also great.
Yeah, but that's
the
why.
problem.
Doesn't that make sense of why you want to stop though?
But eventually, well, I mean, that's the thing. Eventually, something's got to give. Something's got to give. I mean, every human being has it within them. I'm a true believer. Every human being has it within them for them to actually say, "This is my person."
Yeah.
It's a feeling you get. It's call it love, call it intuition, call it something that just draws you to one person, and it may that person. Maybe that person she treated you some way when you were on the date, or maybe that person made your favorite meal. They went an extra mile. They did something that puts that person aside from all the rest.
Yeah.
Damn. Like it's almost like literally being in the literal world of The Bachelor. You know?
Yeah, for real. Because
and then one's like, okay, I got to give the rose to this one because she's like doing it. She's making it happen. So it's just the way it is sometimes. I mean, but when you get older, dating gets harder. That's the only problem.
Trust me.
It gets way harder when you get older. And nowadays, with social media, with TikTok, I mean, after the whole COVID thing happened, there were virtual dates that were going on.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole pandemic has changed this period.
Yeah, it really has, and it is interesting because, like you're saying, like you just said right now, like when you start getting older, dating does get harder. Finding something like, you know, I do think that finding something real becomes a little easier though, because you do have the points where I think both, like me and my girl, like we've been together for going on 6 years, and we met on a dating site. We met hey Dave, we met swiping left and swiping right and shit.
Man,
but it worked.
I think, bro, let me tell you, I think my picture has been swiped left so many times that I think I think my picture is on every dating site. Like, swipe left on this guy forever. So
the
bad
fuck out
for
of
me.
here. but we
bad for
we
me.
literally, like, one thing that we established, I didn't date for a year. I think, yeah, it was a full year. I didn't date for a year before I met her. And I was just like you're saying, bro. I was tired of it. I was tired of the fucking job interview process. I was tired of constantly, like, meeting new people, and like you talk to them for a minute and then why? I gave up. But then, and I also had a son. I also had, like, other stuff, and I was involved in other things. And then when I met her, it was just literally like all cards on the table. Like, hey, I got shit going on. Hey, I got shit going on. What do you want to do? You want to go see a movie? Okay, fuck it. Okay, what do you want to do? And we just liked each other. And it was just that, like you were saying before, it's just always that something. It was just that natural ease, man. It was like everything was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, that worked. Oh, wait, that worked. That worked. This worked. It was no height. Well, here's a fucking crazy thing, real quick. I'm a hothead, bro. Like, I'm one of them type of dudes. Like, I don't take shit. Like, I don't like to at all. And we went to a Wendy's, man. This girl had got my order wrong, and I tried to go up there and nicely, like, hey, it's wrong sandwich. Can you please change it for me? And she was like an asshole about it. So, what do you want me to do? Change it, stupid. So I was trying to be cool because old girl was, I just met Tiff, and I'm like, yo, listen, I don't want to be an asshole and let her see the real me all right away. But listen, she came out the bathroom and she sees me standing there fucking like arguing with this lady behind the counter. I'm like, oh, this date is over. I'm like, okay, this lady just fucked this up for me. But she was understanding of it. I was like, yeah, she gave me a sandwich. I got all my money back. I was like, she gave me a sandwich. She said, what is she gonna do? She was cool. She was like, oh, I would be pissed too. And I was like, really? You're not running right now? And from there, man, 6 years, you know what I mean? Got a baby. You never know what's gonna work, bro. Like, you never
Sometimes
know,
it happens
man.
that way. Sometimes
Bro, it's fucking crazy.
it happens that way, man. I mean, like I said, it's one of those things where right now, at this point in my life, I have to keep my eyes on the prize. Like, I have not really looking for any relationship. I'm not really looking for anything because there comes a point in my life where I just gave up. I'm just like, you know what?
I feel you.
If it happens to fall on my lap, so be it. If not, I still got to keep focused on what I want to do with my life, because at the end of my pops, he wants me to already settle down. He's like, son, I'm not getting any younger. I mean, eventually, I'm gonna be off this planet and you're gonna be alone. And I'm like, well, dude, I mean, I'd rather be alone than with bad company. I mean,
listen, it ain't always the best. It ain't always greener, bro. Shit.
I'm not gonna. I keep telling my dad, I was like, you didn't, when you got with my mom, you got yourself a prize woman right there. I mean, my mom, I mean, no disrespect or anything, but my mom was out of my dad's league. Like, he wasn't even playing that game. I mean, that's how beautiful my mother was. I mean, my mother, picture Portland, hazel eyes and long dark hair all the way down to her hips.
Oh,
that woman was a model of a woman. She was gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous. Awesome. And how my dad got her, I mean, my dad wasn't a bad looking guy either. I mean, a lot of people with my mustache in the 80s, I don't know if you remember this actor named Charles Bronson, but they kept on saying he looks like, my dad looked like Charles Bronson. He looked just like him.
Oh shit, okay.
Mustache just like him. They also back in the 90s, they used to say my dad looked like Saddam Hussein.
That's not a good one.
Oh my God, I wouldn't be too happy about that nickname. Let me tell you that much right now.
Nowhere near around that.
But I was like, Mom, I talked to my mom. I was like, Mom, how did my dad? I mean, no offense to him, but I mean, you're a beautiful woman. She's like, son, he got me with his humbleness, with his humility, because he came up to me once at dinner. We were eating dinner. And he asked me to marry him. But before he did, he said, I don't have that much money. I don't have much to offer you. What I do have is a lot of love. And I promise you, I will love you the rest of my life if you let me. And that got her. The fact of the matter that, I mean, she had been approached by men with money, good-looking men, rich men, all kinds of, because again, she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah, exactly.
She chose the humility of one man. So that's the one thing my dad always has is
Beautiful.
he's a very humble person and a worker. And that's the other thing he told us, like, I'm a hard worker and I will work every day to make sure that you're taken care of.
That's awesome.
So that's how that happened.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, I mean, and much power to that too, because that statement is as a whole, bro. Because it does get challenging, but you do got to remember, man, especially when you think that there's only like one way to do something, or you have to be this, you have to be that. Sometimes just being your natural self, bro, just letting yourself be out. Like I said, even with my situation, same kind of deal. Cards on the table. Listen, I'm sitting there, I'm doing this. I got this going on right now. It ain't really working out, but yo, you want to chill with me? We can. And we did, and we built a foundation. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have neither one of us. We were doing our own thing and put it together, and we built a foundation. We're building an empire right now. And
that's how you get your ride or die. That's how you got your ride or die right there. That term is true to its word. You
completely
find yourself a ride or die. You make sure you go all the way with that one, because that's the one that's going to be your person.
Yes.
I mean, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. You got to have somebody that's going to have your back and your front. They got to have both sides.
Very true.
And like my thing is, I just binge watch all the Harry Potter movies again, because they really get to me. I'm actually playing Harry Potter. I have it for Xbox, and it's such a
I heard it's amazing. Yeah, I heard it's amazing, man. Yeah, I'm not even into Harry Potter like that much. Like I like the movies, but the game, I love a good game, bro.
It's a great game because it's storytelling, and I'll get to that one in a second, because I'll tell you a little bit about that. But in the Harry Potter movies, there's the I think her name is Gina Weasley, the little sister, the sister of Ron Weasley, or Gemma, something like that. And she started off as a little girl. She started getting older. Harry started noticing her. And the thing of that character that I love the most is that towards the end of, I think it was Deathly Hallows. Yeah, it was Deathly Hallows, when Voldemort was getting in everybody's mind, give me Harry Potter and all of you will live. All of a sudden, all of Slytherin was like, give him Harry Potter. The first person to step in front was Gemma Weasley.
Girl.
She got in front. She's like, over my dead body, you're getting through him. That right there, I was like, oh, marry that woman. Marry her right freaking now, because she will die to protect you. And I love that. And I'm like, man, that was like, that I was like, that is your person right there, Harry. That woman that stepped in front to make sure nobody messes with you. That's the one right there. But the game.
Yeah.
I recommend it to anybody. I mean, have you ever played Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, I have. I'm not a fan though. Okay. I'm not Assassin's Creed. Oh, never got to me, bro.
I love Assassin's Creed. So I don't know if this game might be for you per se.
My girl loves Assassin's Creed. Yeah, she loves
very Assassin's Creed. Very, very similar to it. In the sense that there's a lot of like in Assassin's Creed where you have to like go to the Eagle Post to go ahead and do fast travels. They have a lot of that in this game. There's a lot of little towns where you do little mini missions, but man, the game is amazing. The storylines, I'm only 8% completion, so there's so much more to go.
Still doing a lot.
But it's a great game.
Yeah.
It's a great.
Yeah, I really enjoy gaming and stuff like that. It's another thing we have in common is we play games and stuff together. But I wanted to ask you before we dive, we jump in topic. This is my shit right here. I love that. I wanted to ask you. You said one of the things, until you're busy doing like kind of what you're doing right now. What's some of your new plans that you got going forward?
Actually, again, no new plans. I mean, it's just our podcast, the Navarro Miller Report. Right now, we're trying to grow it as much as possible. The thing that I love about our show is that not only do we inform everybody, because the whole purpose of our show is, and Jeremy and I, when we first, because the thing is I had another podcast called The Xander Effect.
Yeah.
And I was signed to Sony Music. I was actually signed to Sony with them, but and I brought Jeremy in as a co-host for the Xander, but unfortunately it didn't work out with Sony. And so we decided to part ways amicably. I needed to keep going with this because I believe that I owed it to Jeremy. I mean, Jeremy found something that he actually enjoys doing. Like, not that I'm saying that he doesn't enjoy acting or cooking or anything like that, but he found something else, another avenue that allows him able to express himself the way he wants to do it. And I told him, I was like, why don't we just, I mean, it didn't work out with Sony. Let's start our own podcast. Let's call it the Navarro Miller Report or the Miller Navarro Report. I don't care. And he said, yeah, let's keep it going. Let's do it. So we decided that, and we decided this a long time ago, that we weren't talking politics, because every single channel, as soon as you flip the on button, politics, it's annoying as all hell.
Shit, yeah,
dude,
not at all.
We hear politics all over the place. We hear about all the bad news that goes on all over the place. Let's talk about something just a little. Let's talk about entertainment. Let's talk about sports. Let's talk about gaming if possible. Let's throw in some fun things. Like, our show basically consists of it. And I don't know if I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you've watched the show.
I've heard a couple episodes.
And you've seen what we do.
Yep.
Like,
two dudes talking.
A little bit of TikTok.
Yeah, two dudes talking.
We just do. Yeah, we just do a lot of really cool things, and we love to interact with the audience that's there.
Yeah.
And it's actually funny because one of the new audience members, when she heard the banter between myself and Jeremy, she took it a little bit, and Jeremy had to like message her and say, that's just the way we are.
Yeah, man. Some people don't understand that dynamic, man. Some people won't understand, like, when it's like, two cool ass guys, especially guys. We're real big. Like, I tell my brother and stuff like that all the time, like, shut up. Don't listen to this dumbass over here. I mean, it's just how we get down, man. It's all love, man. But it can be confusing to outside people who are looking at it. But I do
especially
enjoy. Yeah, and it's like, if you're somebody who's looked at like an admired figure as well, I can imagine probably more people are like, oh man, don't talk to him like that and shit like that. It's probably hard for you.
Exactly.
They're probably trying to come at your ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you gotta fight back. Fight me. I'm like, dude, it's just
we friends.
We're like,
like you said, Dave, and it's awesome because doing this stuff, whatever. And I can tell you're serious. I mean, you've already had an establishment, and you're still growing your establishment. Doing this business, man. This, at the end of the day, this is a business, especially for me. Like, this is a business, bro. Like, I literally am. This is work. I'm at work right now. Like, I don't have a 9-to-5 anymore. So I love this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no right or wrong way to do it. But the thing is, you do have to be serious. You do have to be committed. You do have to make it work. And you do have to have a skill at it, too. It does require skill to talk and, come up with relevant topics or speak to people easily. All of that shit factors in. But I love the dynamic of just being on a show and talking, bro. Like, just imagine how this could have been if I was just sitting here. Well, what do you do? Okay, check. Fucking would have never.
Dude, it's tedious. You got to go ahead and like give a little spice to it. I mean, personally, the one element that's missing from our show, and unfortunately we cannot have that because of legal reasons, is music. I've always loved music, and
bro,
I used to be Ryan Seacrest's intern.
Yeah, that's
back
right.
in the early 2000s. And I love being this is back when he was on a radio station called Star 98.7. And he was on it was on the ride home, I think, with Ryan Seacrest to Fox on Star 98.7. And that's what I wanted to do. I was radio. That's something that's still a goal to this day for me, to be on Sirius Satellite or XM or something where I can play music. For right now,
yeah, man,
I do it on TikTok. I have TikTok lives where people that could come in, they could listen to some music and just enjoy themselves while I go ahead and do a little banter by myself and I just enjoy it. And that's what I like to do until I get to that point where I want to be, where I will be allowed to play music at a station that has a license to allow that. So for now, I got to do what I got to do, and just, I got the Navarro Miller Report, which I love to do. And, on my free time, I like to go on TikTok, play some music, and just do a whole TikTok radio show on the live, which is a lot of fun for me too.
That's awesome. And you want to know something that's amazing too, because you found like a loophole in the system. One of the biggest things, like you said too, music is so big, especially like my background is all music. Like I came from a musical family. My father used to manage up and coming artists, just different types of people all over. And when I first started the Beeline Web Show, my first show, we were just going to talk shit. We are just going to talk about current events and different things happening and stuff like that. And it grew into what it is now. But that's why I started my entertainment show, because we were getting a lot of musical talent, whether it be artists, whether it be this Grammy nominated artists. We had a whole bunch of people coming on at first because of our backgrounds, was what we were always involved in. And I noticed, like, I want to have just its own individual platform so I can still just come on my show and still do this and just talk regular. But not being able to play songs, and I just have artists come on. I'm like, yo, I want to show off. That's why I started my show off segment, because I literally just have like artists come on and they'll talk about what they do, where they're from, how they got started, and then they'll do a 30-second, like, sing, rap, cook. I don't give a shit what you do, whatever, show off. And that was the biggest thing, man, because we can't play music on these platforms, bro. It is frustrating, man.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks, because we want to go ahead and show, mainstream and independent music. Like on the Xander Effect, because I was a part of Sony, they allowed me to play only Sony owned music.
Got you.
Which is really cool. I was able to have Sony owned music, which is I was really happy about. But after we parted ways, I had to think up of other ways to go and play music, because I enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed just playing music for the audience. I've had a lot of independent artists come on my show. We're gonna hopefully have another one that's she's an incredible voice. Her name is Amanda Hawley. She's got a lot of really amazing music, independently owned music, and she comes on my TikTok as well. And I'm like, I was like, you should have been picked up a long time ago. But she has a separate story as to that, why she hasn't been, or why she didn't take it. But she's just an amazing artist. I just had a hip hop artist, by the name of Marjan Kim, that was on the Navarro Report recently. He's a D1 football player for Tennessee State University, and he's also a hip hop artist. And we showcased his music video during the closing credits of the show. So we do stuff like that. We still do stuff like that, where we bring in independent artists to showcase artists as well, and we just get their permission, because obviously it's their music, so they give us full permission to use their music, which is in this when it comes to podcasting or hosting a show or anything like that. So you get away with it a little bit here and there, but the main goal is to someday be able to play everything. Man. So that's the goal right there.
That's awesome, bro. Well, Sam, first off, congratulations on your, success that you've had already in this industry. I mean, being able to work for Sony and stuff like that, even though, kind of just didn't work out. I mean, still had the opportunity, man. And it's amazing, bro. Like I started this shit. I don't know what the hell I was trying to do, but I never would have imagined that, just because of the consistency and me constantly trying to evolve, trying to elevate, trying to take it seriously. Where it be now, like, even just talking to you is a feather in my cap. I'm like, yo, listen, I never would imagine I'd be talking to somebody, Jeremy Miller, guy I was watching when I was fucking 2 years old on TV. Like, I never would have imagined I'd be anywhere near these people, man. And it's just like the fact that I can sit here and say that I'm still doing it, I'm still going, you're still doing it and still going. You probably are going to end up on that radio show someday, man. You're probably going to, you're interesting. You're not boring. You're not corny. You know what I'm saying? And you keep elevating your craft. That shit is what matters, man. Consistency really does.
Yeah,
bro.
Hey, man, you just got to keep on pushing like a hippo in labor. That's all you got to do. That's what you got to do. That was a rough one, pushing, man. Oh, I got a million of them. Some of these sayings I've heard from mine. I'm like, I'm gonna use that one.
I'm saying you got to catch that shit fast. Like, oh yeah, that's perfect timing. But
yeah, man.
But Dave,
I enjoy it.
So what are some other things? After you got done with the club promotions and stuff like that, did you just completely just dive into like kind of the radio life, or did you have any other things that you were doing or you wanted to do?
Actually, leaving the club promotion was, man, let me tell you, when I say that industry takes a part of your soul, it really does, and not in a good way. Gotcha. The hot club lifestyle is something that is amazing. You're very privileged to be a part of events that like hardly anybody else. I remember a long time ago, and I'm aging myself here. But back when MySpace was doing the MySpace music,
Yeah.
they had an album release party for Snoop Dogg at this club called Opera in Hollywood. And the line was around the corner, like around the block. And we were inside. I was pissed.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get into the club, and the MySpace crew team or whatever wasn't allowing anybody that was non-MySpace people in, and that was pissing me off because I was like, why didn't you just rent the club out? Why did you like ask us to do tonight if you're going to be doing that? You're costing us money, because the more people come in, the more money you make. The less people come in, screwed money that night.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I'm pissed off. I look over to an acquaintance of Pat. And Pat sees how pissed off I am. And he's like, do you realize how lucky we are? I'm like, what? Lucky? My people are outside. What's the matter with you? And he's just chilling. He's like, no, man, think about it. We're in here. They're out there. You have any idea how lucky we are to be a part of this?
For real.
I mean, you know, and then I thought about it and I was like, I look over, there's Snoop in his VIP, there's a Brat, Busta Rhymes, all these celebrities. Like, huh. I'm like, shit, I didn't even think about that. You know, you got a point. We're pretty damn lucky. You know, we get to witness things that most people only watch on TV, and we're here. We're seeing it.
Listen,
you know, so yeah.
Dave, speaking of,
you were asking, I'm sorry, I forgot your question. After the club,
yeah,
I had a friend of mine. My friend Jenny, she had me be a co-host on her show, Jenny's Real Talk on the Block, on letalkradio.com. It's an internet radio station. I was there for a little bit as her co-host. The called me, but then after that, I decided, you know what? I didn't know what I was going to do. My friend Carla comes up to me, Dave, you got a degree, you have a voice. Why don't you start what every other person around you is starting in as a podcast? If these 12-year-old kids can do it, you already
can get it done, right?
I mean, you know, I mean, these 12-year-old kids have boatloads of money. Why can't you?
For
and
real.
I'm like, and I was like, and I do equipment. And she's like, exactly. You got a good personality. Just find something that you like to talk about and do it.
Yeah, man.
So I did.
Yeah,
I did. And
that was one of the best things that could have happened, you know, as far as just like, you know, whether it be everybody, you know, a lot of people started with the COVID stuff, you know, because it kind of slowed you down. And a lot of people like, you know, start something just because you had an opportunity and just because a lot of people follow the bandwagon. But in your situation, you sound like you were just kind of bred into it. You've been in it. And, you know, it was definitely a perfect opportunity. So I was glad that she was in your ear at that time, giving you the ability to, you know, make that notice. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't even put it together. You're like, shit, I could just do this. Yeah, I could just do this. That's kind of how I kind of figured it out too, because I didn't really, I had an idea to do like a show or something like that or whatever, like 10 years before I even started doing this. And, I didn't even know how to do it. I'll be honest with you. It seemed like it was like so unobtainable. It's like everything else until you start doing it. It seems like it's something that, oh, I can't do that. Why could I do that? And then you start doing it. You're like, oh, wait a minute, I can do that. And then you start realizing things are a little bit easier to do after you start doing the shit. So it's always awesome when you can get somebody in your ear that can help you out, help you like kind of paint the picture for you, even when you can't see it yourself. But when you said
sometimes when you think about it, it's kind of fear. You're afraid to fail.
Yeah,
and,
that
you know,
too.
And that's the biggest thing. It's you're afraid to fail.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. Nobody wants to fail at anything they're doing. But I mean, at the same time, it's also just like you don't know. You think of podcasting and you think of Joe Rogan. You think of like, you know, these big ass people, and you start saying to yourself, ain't nobody going to want to listen to me. Ain't nobody going to do this. And ain't, like you said, you're afraid to fail. But, you know, at the same time, you don't understand or give yourself props or give yourself credit for what you are good at. So, yeah, maybe 17 million people won't listen to you, but there might be 17 people that really enjoy listening to you. And that's the kind of mentality that I had to start structuring for myself. Maybe 3 people love listening to my show. Am I going to get in front of this microphone for 3 people? And that's what I said, yeah, of course I am. They can't wait till I put my show out every week. And then that shit just starts progressing, man, slowly but surely. And that's the kind of mentality that I'm hosting a workshop even just to like kind of build off of my learning experience from this, just to give other people strength. Because you think of that shit like, oh man, nobody's gonna watch it. I got 2 views, but 2 people watch it. It could be the same 2 people watch the show every day. You're gonna do a show for them? Why not? They love you.
You can't think that way. You can't think that only 2 people are watching. 0 people could be watching, but at least doing what you like, and at least you're getting your point across. And eventually you will have more than 2 people that are going to watch something you did in the past. I mean, that's just the way it goes sometimes. You got to be patient and just keep on promoting yourself, putting yourself out there, making sure that coming from a world of promoting, I'm used to promoting shows. I'm used to promoting like club events. That's why I was like, that's the other thing Carla said. She's like, you're a former club promoter. You know how to promote. You have connections. Use them. And that was the thing that I was very fortunate about when I started podcasting, is that I did have connections. Did have, new people in the industry that would help, that were willing to help me out, because they were like, you were there for me. And, I'll be there for, like, I have a publicist that I work with, and she's, I know her kids, her little girl is like, that's like my little one. I love her to death. And her sons are, good kids, good boys. And it's one of those things where she's like family. She's there to help me as much as possible. And I appreciate that so much. So I was very fortunate with that as well, with the connections that I have as well. So
it's awesome.
You just got to use one, and just shoot your shot. If you don't shoot, you can't hit anything.
Bro, listen, it's just like dating, just like anything. It's the same thing. If you don't go for it, if you don't try it, man, at the end of the day, you don't know what you could have had or what you might have had. Or even if you lose, you learn something from it. I'm definitely, that's another thing with getting older, man. Getting older is another thing where you learn these life lessons. If you're intelligent, unless you also just one of the people who are just stubborn, just want to think your own way the whole way through. But I really am enjoying my learning process, my learning experience. Like I said, Dave, it's been awesome to talk with you even. I would love to have you back on for even more. Like you said, on the entertainment shows, we do a lot more. We do movie reviews, game reviews. We do a lot of different things that we're really trying to build up. Lately, I've had a lot of guests coming on. But I am going to get back to the regular meat and potatoes entertainment show. But shout out your show, what time it's on, and where they can find you and everything like that.
We are on every Monday and Friday from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You could check us out. We have we're on YouTube. Just type in the Navarro Miiler Report, and you'll find on all platforms. We're on Twitter. We stream live on Twitter. Everything that we do is live, so you'll be able to watch us live. You'll be able to be a part of the conversation and be able to talk, our stream. We have a live stream that we feature. So if you say something, and it's something that we want to talk about, we'll put it on the screen. It's a feature that we have. So it'll show John Doe on Facebook says this, that, and that.
Oh yeah.
So that's a pretty cool feature we have. But yeah, every Monday and Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn. We actually stream live on LinkedIn as well.
I'm trying to get there. But I got to build up a little bit more with LinkedIn. I just started using them, man.
Oh, it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. And then the next day, the repeat of the show is on iHeartRadio.com, the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify, so you can catch that as well the very next day.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, Dave, thank you so much for coming on. I would love to have you come back on, do another show, like I was saying, especially even you and Jeremy come on and we can all talk and talk about different shits going on and stuff like that. You guys are awesome, man. Definitely Beeline. Go check out their show. Check them out. You want to get a chance to watch the 80s child star and somebody who's been doing this for a long time, man. They got a real good rapport, a lot of fun. 2 dudes talking shit, grab a beer and just talk shit. I love it, bro. That's the best thing of the best shows. I love
That's all it is.
I love that shit, yo.
I just want to say, man, you're doing a great job here with the Beeline. I love the show. I think it's amazing, man. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate that. And everybody continue to watch the Beeline. He's going places. I'm telling you, that Beeline is going straight to the next stop.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it, man. And thank you guys as well, man. Guys, definitely check out the Dubby, check out everything else, check out the Navarro Miller report. And we gonna be back because it's what we do. But until next time, stay true, stay positive, pay attention, baby. And we out. People, check out these amazing promotions that we have this week on the Beeline Entertainment LLC. And if you're interested in promoting on our shows, we want to see it. We know you have amazing content. Just hit us up, send us a message. We there. Check it out. People, the Beeline Entertainment LLC is proudly sponsored by Round Guys Brewing Company. That's right, get amazing crafted beers shipped straight to you. Round Guys Brewing Company. Check them out today at the link below. People, check out my man Philly D on the I'm Telling You podcast. Head on over to YouTube and subscribe today. It's a great show. I'm telling you.
He said it.
People, check out this amazing energy drink mix called Dubby. Get more Dubby. That's right. All the energy you need to get through your gaming, your creativity, and everything else. Check it out. Use that promo code BrianB NRG and get 10% off your order today.